Okay, so like, I haven't shaved in a while. I haven't showered, look like shit, but I had to do a video of this because this was one of the most surreal things that has happened to me in a long time, and I swear to you, I am not making this up. I absolutely promise I'm not. Like, if somebody else told me this, I would think I was making it up, or I would think they were making it up, but I promise you I'm not, okay? So, I'm at the bank, and I'm putting a check in the bank from one of the freelance jobs I'm doing, right? And so, there's this woman ahead of me in line who I think is on like Bluetooth or something like that, because I can hear her talking, right? And so I think, okay, well, I need to call up Time Warner anyways to get like this port forwarding stuff going, because apparently I can't do it directly on my modem and all that stuff. So I call up Time Warner, you know, thinking it's not really rude or anything, because this woman's like talking in front of me in line, you know, I didn't think she'd mind, right? So I'm, you know, doing a little touch tone thing, you know, press 1 if you have this, press 2 if you have that. So I'm like, okay. So the person gets on the other end of the line at Time Warner, and the minute I start talking, okay, now this woman's had her back to me this whole time. The minute I start talking, this woman turns around and like gets really close to me, like the distance I have this phone from my face, if not closer. Okay, like she's up there, and she's like looking at, she's got on big sunglasses, but I can kind of tell she's like looking at me, and she's continuing to talk, and she definitely doesn't have a phone, and I notice now she doesn't have a Bluetooth or anything like that, at least I can see. She had like really long hair, right? And I'm kind of like trying to hear what the woman on the Time Warner thing's saying, but it's hard to hear because I've got this woman talking like right in my face, right? And so then I start to actually listen to what she's saying though. And she's saying shit like, do you have the infrared cameras set up over at Tilly's? They're going to be like, you know, obviously eviscerating my face over there, and I could be horribly mutilated and gored and have my face like ridden through with a spike and be bloodily dead laying on the ground while you see me like agonizingly in pain. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I'm just trying to keep a straight face during all this. And then whenever I don't talk, whenever like the woman on the other end on the Time Warner thing's not talking, she's quiet. Like she turns back around, she doesn't like, you know, talk in my face anymore. And she's not like asking me a question or saying anything, or so I thought at first. I thought she was just like talking about some crazy shit on the phone to her friend. Like maybe she's, like it sounded like she was coming up with some sort of like business list of things to do besides that. Like it sounded like she was saying like, I want to get this shirt, I want to get this pants and whatever else, but then she randomly like segue into like that kind of stuff, you know, like segue into that kind of stuff. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm fucked up right now like in the head because I'm just fucking mind blown at this right now. And so she starts saying this stuff, right? And you know, I'm just like, okay, you know, whatever. And then she starts saying random stuff like, you're the killer, you're the murderer that did all this and all this kind of like random ass shit. And I'm like feeling like she's saying this to me. Like, and then she starts reading off like people's clothes at the bank. Like there was a woman at the teller in front of us. That's why we were in line, right? You know, because we're waiting on her to get done. And she had a little baby with her. And she starts saying like a woman looks to be a young mother with a black outfit on and a baby, obviously of no consequence. We can, you know, disregard the baby. And I'm like I'm thinking like, is she like talking about them? Like she has to be, right? And I'm just like what the fuck is going on, dude? Like, and so she starts going on and on about this, and then she starts like talking about my clothes, like, you know, like sociopathically, and then the people behind me in line and the other people, I don't think they realize this. I don't think they notice that she's naming off their clothes, and she's doing it like a police woman would like evaluate, you know, like the scene of a crime, and then she keeps going back into random ass shit. And so what really gets me is, what really seals it off is I'm thinking, okay, this lady's gotta be like crazy or something. And she kept talking about being at a hospital too. She's like, we have them at the Little Mother of Mary Providence Hospital, and they're in critical condition, and we've got to go see them immediately. Can you queue up the stats on them immediately? And I'm like, so then I finally get up to the teller. Or no, actually first this woman gets up to the teller, and there's 2 tellers open now. Or there's 2 tellers going on. Sorry, I'm trying to just recant this. It just happened. I'm just still mind fucked from this. And she goes up to the one teller that's open while the other one's still being taken by the woman in the black clothes with the baby. And when she goes up there, any of you that have seen Seinfeld, if you've ever seen Elaine do the Elaine dance, that's what this woman was doing at the teller with her credit card. So like the woman's like, can you please slide your credit card? And she's like doing like the Elaine dance, like swinging her arms around and like whipping her body from side to side and kicking her feet up in the air with her credit card like she's cutting somebody up with her credit card. And then she finally gets it in there, and she's like walking away from the teller like over and over, and the teller's like, ma'am, we're not done. We need to do transaction. And she's like, oh, yes, you know. And she goes back, right? And so I finally get up to the other teller, right? And I'm like, you know, finishing my talk on the phone and stuff like that, and I'm talking to the teller. And this woman, that same woman, you know, of course, comes over to me with 2 of her receipts that she pulled out of the bank, like, you know, the receipts of her balances, right? She did 2 balances. One was like for 20 bucks, one was like for 50 bucks, something like that. And she puts them right by me, and she looks at me, and she's like, those are for the dead aliens you have hooked up in the basement. Be sure to get that prompt, you know, get them to them and stuff like that. I realize you've got that. You don't have to, you know, hide it from me or anything like that. And then she's like, just remember the dead aliens in the basement. I know we've got them captured. We got it. All right, right? Okay. And then just leaves. And I'm like, just 100% mind fuck. Don't even know what universe I'm in anymore. And then she left. And that was it. That was my day at the bank. I went to go put a check in the bank, thinking nothing would happen. Average day. Instead, I get either a completely psychopathic woman, coked up on too many types of drugs to imagine, or I talk to an alien from outer space that doesn't know how to use English correctly, and is trying to communicate with me, and said some pretty horrific things. That was my day. I don't get how this keeps on happening. I go out to a 7-Eleven, I have a dude try and rob it in just fucking out of nowhere, for those of you who remember that video. I go out to fucking the bank, and this happens. I don't understand. Anyways.